Welcome back to The Explainer, 8th graders. Okay, today we're going to look at math from a completely new perspective. We're talking about the algebra of truth, rearranging formulas. Look, if math usually feels like this rigid set of rules where you just kind of plug in numbers and cross your fingers, you're definitely not alone. But what if I told you that you actually have the power to bend and rearrange those rules to find exactly what you're looking for? Today, we're going to unlock that power. To set the stage, let's look at this beautiful scripture, Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. Think about what that really means for a second. Just like there's a time and a season for everything in our lives, there's also a specific perspective needed for every situation we face. And yeah, that includes every single math problem. Sometimes we need to look at a situation from the front, sometimes from the back, and honestly, sometimes from the inside out. Math is exactly the same way.
Let me paint a picture for you. You're sitting in science class staring at an assignment. You desperately need to find the mass of an object, but the only formula your teacher gave you is the one that solves for force. You know the force and you know the acceleration, but the formula just isn't set up to give you mass. Have you ever felt totally stuck in that exact scenario? Like, what do you do if you don't know the variable the formula usually solves for? You might feel like you're missing a giant piece of the puzzle, but actually, you already have everything you need. You just got to know how to rearrange the pieces.
So let's make sure we're all starting from the exact same baseline here. What is a formula, anyway? Simply put, formulas are just math rules written as equations. They're tools. Think of a formula like a multi-tool in your toolbox. It's designed to help you build or fix something, but depending on the specific job, you might need to unfold a totally different part of that tool to get the work done right.
Let's compare this really quickly. On one hand, we have standard formulas, like a formula that gives you distance. But what if you actually need speed? Well, on the other hand, we have rearranged formulas, where you've isolated the exact variable you need. And this brilliantly illustrates how rearranging a formula actually makes you a more resourceful, independent thinker. You don't have to just sit there and wait for someone to hand you the perfect equation. You can take the standard equation and mold it to serve your specific needs. Now that is true mathematical independence.
I want you to think of rearranging a formula kind of like flipping a switch in a dark room, or maybe solving a complex puzzle. Suddenly, you're revealing the truth from a completely different angle. As we learn in the HeroesMart Godly Learners series, God calls us to continually grow in our understanding. Being able to manipulate a formula isn't about twisting the truth or breaking any rules, it's about exploring the truth. In math, when you solve for a totally different variable, you are simply revealing a new, equally valid side of the exact same truth.
All right, before we actually start solving, let's lay out the core rules of the game. First, to move a term from one side of the equation to the other, you absolutely must use the inverse operation. If it's multiplying, you divide. If it's adding, you subtract. Make sense? Second, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. You gotta keep the entire equation balanced, just like a seesaw. And third, do not worry about having letters in your answer. Seriously, sometimes your final answer won't be a neat little number like 5 or 10. It's just going to be a jumble of letters, and that is perfectly okay. In fact, that usually means you did it exactly right. Example 1. The force formula. F equals m times a. Okay, let's dive into this. This is the classic physics equation for force. Force equals mass times acceleration. But let's see what happens when we need to find acceleration instead. I'm going to walk through this nice and slow so you can mentally track the algebra here. We want to isolate a. Right now, a is being multiplied by m. So step 1, we identify the inverse operation. The absolute opposite of multiplying by m is dividing by m. Step 2, to keep things totally balanced, we divide both sides of the equation by m. That gives us f divided by m on the left and m times a divided by m on the right. Now the m's on the right just cancel each other out, which brings us right to step 3. We've successfully isolated a. So a equals f divided by m. See? You just literally created a brand new tool out of your old one. Example 2. Temperature conversion. C equals 5/9 times the quantity of F minus 32. So this formula says Celsius equals 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32. Now, this is great if you want to know the temperature in Celsius. But what if you're traveling, you're looking at a Celsius thermometer, and you're trying to figure out what that actually means in Fahrenheit? Well, we need to get F all by itself. Let's move on and see how this builds, step by step. First, we've got to strip away that fraction sitting on the outside of the parentheses. Step 1, we multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 9/5. That cancels out the fraction on the right and gives us 9/5 c on the left. So now we have 9/5 c equals f minus 32. Okay, step 2, we need to get rid of that minus 32. The inverse is atom 32. So we add 32 to both sides, and that brings us to step 3. We have successfully isolated F. Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times Celsius plus 32. You just stripped away the fractions and the numbers to reveal the truth from a completely new angle.
Example 3. The perimeter formula. P equals 2m plus 2w.
Right, so perimeter equals 2 times the length, which we're calling m here, plus 2 times the width, or w. P equals 2m plus 2w. Now, what if we already know the perimeter and the length, but we desperately need to find the width? We have to isolate w. Watch closely here. Step 1, we move the 2m term away from the w by using our trusty inverse operation. We subtract 2m from both sides. Now we have p minus 2m equals 2w. Guys, we are almost there. Step 2, w is being multiplied by 2, so we just divide both sides by 2. Now, the crucial point here is keeping the entire equation balanced, and that means dividing the whole left side by 2. Step 3, we isolate w. Our final answer is w equals the entire quantity of p minus 2m, all divided by 2. Great job staying focused through all that. You now have a clear, successful result.
And now it is homework time.
All right, here are your 5 challenges. You've watched me walk through these steps, but true learning really happens when you take the wheel and prove to yourself that you are a resourceful, independent problem solver. So I want you to go ahead and pause this explainer right now. Write down these 5 specific problems in your notebook and use the exact steps we just learned to solve them totally independently. And hey, remember, it is perfectly okay if your answers are full of letters.
Welcome back. Now, before we wrap up today's lesson, I want us to take a moment to step back from the math itself and just look at the bigger picture of your life. As you develop these incredible math skills and really grow your intelligence, I want to ask you a very grounded, slightly more serious question. So, what exactly is the point of being smart and supposedly educated if we just continue to make bad choices that end up hurting ourselves or the people around us?
At Smart Academy, our Godly Learners series firmly believes that we absolutely must intertwine biblical morality with our education. Why? Because honestly, education without morality is just going to hurt. Think about it. You can know how to rearrange every single mathematical formula in the world, you can be brilliant in science, amazing in literature, but if your heart isn't guided by a strong moral compass, that education doesn't mean a whole lot. True wisdom is combining the raw intelligence you gain in the classroom with the godly character you develop in your heart. And that brings us to just an incredible promise found in Romans chapter 8, verses 6 through 7. This scripture promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their minds spiritual. And you know, this is the ultimate goal of your education here. We want you to be brilliantly smart, yes, absolutely, but way more importantly, we want you to experience the profound peace that comes from a spiritual moral mindset. As you engage with our content, both mathematically and spiritually, our deepest hope is that you find that peace. So, as you head out today to balance your own math equations, I want to leave you with one final question to solve. How are you going to use your own brilliant mind to bring truth and peace into the world around you? Keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time on The Explainer.